All right. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Actually, yeah, afternoon, Saturday, just in time for the Christmas holidays as we're getting nearer to the end of the year. I wanted to take this time to thank everyone that has been part of not only Triad Leadership Solutions, but DTLW and Aloha Friday Live. We have definitely been blessed in so many regards, but also, as life would have it, have suffered several major losses in my family. But I wanted to take this time, first of all, to thank all those that made Triad and DTLW and Aloha Friday Live such a success. It really is not without your help and support that we can do these things, right? And I say we, it's probably me, but that I can do these things. You really inspire me. As you can see in my backdrop, all the many guests that have been on the DTLW podcast this year, it is because of them that the ratings and the subscriptions and all those things have been able to increase and sustain throughout this 2023 year. In terms of Triad, I wanted to highlight and take some time to highlight all the things that have occurred throughout 2023 for both my company and the podcast, as well as some other things that I've been blessed to be part of. So bear with me as we go through these, and I do not bring these up as a way of lauding or praising myself. As I mentioned, I'm just a vehicle, I'm just a vessel, and all the accolades that come from the various entities and organizations, I'm truly blessed to be part of. And I merely bring them up so that you as well can see that your efforts are not for for naught, that they will eventually get to a point where others would praise you for them. And so I want you to consider continuing on your road to productivity, your road to success, whatever that may look like for you, and not to give up. It's easy to get to the thought of maybe this is not for me. And if that's a reality and you can actually agree with that, then by all means pivot onto the road that you're supposed to travel. But if it's a thought that is coming up to get you off track, then stand your ground, because it doesn't matter if what you do for one person or you do for a million. As long as you're consistent and you do it because your heart drives you, your passion drives you, your vision drives you to do that which you are doing. So, as I name these things that came to pass this year, um, I thank God, first of all, for giving me the opportunity of life. And I thank Him for giving me the wisdom that I'm able to share throughout the different mediums this year. So, first of all, I want to thank those that voted me as an individual for certain of these awards, and collectively as Triad a company, because we are a service provider and we really love what we do in helping people develop their leadership, become the best version of themselves, but more importantly, come to grips as to who they are and what they were made for. It is a true honor to see people come through, both through the practice, the coaching development practice, and those that listen to DTLW and send comments of, hey, this really was an impactful episode for me, and it really helped me in this area or in that area. So thank you for that. So first, I want to start off with our very first accolade of the year, which was the top 200 biggest voices in leadership in 2023. That was such a monumental accolade to be top of anything, but mainly in the leadership arena, because we often get into the hustle and bustle of life, and we have a discipline that we are practicing. We seldom see someone else come and say, "Hey, we got wind of something that you're doing, and we want to name you top." And so the top 200 biggest voices in leadership was a huge honor for us to receive. And also, following that, we had uh, the accolade of best CEO mentorship and leadership development firm here in Florida for 2023. What a blessing! A small entity. I'm talking about. I am a solopreneur, and to be, uh, and we do have members of the team that comprise Triad, but to be such a small entity and continue to do what we love to do and receive some praise is always good. We also got listed top 10 inspiring leaders of 2023, the 2024 Global 100 Executive Coach of the Year, 2023 top 20 successful American CEOs, top 10 thought leaders in careers, top 100 thought leader in management, top 100 thought leader in coaching, and top 50 thought leader in diversity and inclusion, along with a LinkedIn top voice in leadership development coaching, coaching and mentoring, and leadership development. So I mentioned those as a thank you. Thank you for doing that for us, Triad. And thank you for acknowledging our work in the leadership development space. It's a true honor. Now, I've been able to be part of several book, I'd say, projects, right? Contributing author projects this year, which I just absolutely love. And I will, at the end of this, I will put the links in the comments so that you're able to be able to look at those and see if you want to purchase them for yourself. But I'll tell you, you can't go wrong purchasing these books, not because I was part of it, but the amount of knowledge in these books from different authors in different capacities, different experiences is going to enrich your life. So, the first one was the Latinas 100 Leaving a Legacy and Inspiring the Next Generation, Volume 3. I was blessed to be part of that project along with my wife, Nancy, and so many other great authors and folks that are doing great things out there. An amazing job by Adriana Rosales, which was a project that she holds every year. I did make a post on Volume 4. She's looking for contributing authors. This is There is no pay on this. You're a participant, and it is one of the greatest projects I've been part of. So, Adriana, God bless you for opening the doors for us to become authors in not only the Hispanic community, but also community at large. Adasa, thank you for joining me. She is also contributing, but also an author of her own book. And go to our last several Aloha Friday lives, and you'll see an Aloha Friday live that I did with Adasa. Uh, Very impactful. And Adasa, please share the link to your book in the comments so people can get a hold of that themselves. The next book that I was a project uh, in is the Latino Leadership Playbook. Uh, what a project! What an impactful book of Latino professionals letting you know what it took for them to get to where they were, or they are. And I tell you that it is such a blessing to be part of that book. Such a blessing to have been invited, right? Because hey, we could try to write books, but if you're not invited, then you can't do much. But it has been a blessing uh, to be part of that project. And if you have not gotten in touch with or connected with Refugio Atilano, uh, what he did with all of these authors was amazing. And so that book has also been highlighted in the Thinkers 360 platform as one of the books to read this year. And so I'm so happy to be or to have had the opportunity to be with Ref and his group there. So take a look at that once I post it in, or you can look for it in Amazon yourself. But I'll also create a link for that in the comments. And lastly, one book that is coming out here in the next week, it should be out, is the Latino 100, Leaving a Legacy and Inspiring the Next Generation Power Series, which is a book of, less than two handfuls of authors and leaders. And what I love about this particular book, it's a bilingual. So you'll get our written stories in English, and then you can flip on to the other side and read them in Spanish. Love the fact that Adriana did that in this particular one. It's the bilingual edition, the Latino 100. Such a wonderful thing to be a part of, and great way to finish my year as an author, and so or contributing author. So those are three books that I highly encourage. I'll make sure to put those in the comments for you to be able to get a hold of it. And Hadassah says she's looking forward to it. Yes, so am I. Can't wait to get my hands on it and start giving those out. Hey, talking about the books and giving them out, I tell you that uh, and I'll transition here to the DTLW, developing the leader within, highlights and milestones. A part of DTLW is two things, right? Yes, I like to bring you guests from around the world, and the focus of DTLW is to bring you guests from a worldwide perspective in leadership. Leadership is not, a silo. It has so many flavors and so many impacts from around the world that you have to, if you want to be a great leader, you'll start to dig into how the world leads. It's different for all areas of the world, but to become a great leader, you have to start thinking worldwide. So part of the goal of DTLW is to bring you that worldwide leadership perspectives. Second part of DTLW is to give back. And so, yes, we have, and I'll talk about this here. We have a YouTube channel that's we usually host all of our podcasts on YouTube, along with all the podcast platforms, the audio version. But YouTube is our main channel, and uh, every time we meet a milestone, and that is every time we cross the next 100 milestone. So for instance, we are about 70, let me see, no, we're about 50 shy of getting to 600 subscribers on YouTube. And so I encourage you to, if you have not subscribed, go to at DTLW in YouTube and DTLW podcast in YouTube, and please help us get to that 600 milestone. So what happens every time we reach the next 100 is that one of our guests that was an author, or that is an author, has personally signed their particular book, and has inscribed it to you, the listener. And every time we get to another 100, I select from the 100 subscribers in that category, and one of those listeners or subscribers gets selected and receives that book. And so all of our guests have donated their books. I mean, I have a pile of books here waiting to land into someone's hands based on their subscription. So a wonderful way to give back. Subscribing doesn't cost anything but a click of a button, and you are automatically put into that giveaway. So we're about 50 shy, I believe, or maybe less than, maybe 48 or so from getting to 600. I encourage you, please, to consider DTLW your leadership development podcast preference for 2024. And you have 52 different guests each year. And now we're coming up on our 5th year here in February. So coming up on our 5th year, and we just we're actually closing out on Monday, Christmas Day. We have our closeout episode, which also happens to be our 200th episode. Not too many. I think 3.83% of podcasters get to 200. So we didn't do bad. We did not do bad, folks. And a lot of it has to do with you and your support, as well as our guests. And so thank you for that, a milestone that was just achieved. And I definitely want to thank not only the listeners, but also Mike Vacanti. Mike Vacanti is probably one of the most humble gentlemen I have come across. And every year we want to highlight gratitude. And so he was on with me this year. And like I said, the episode will be out on Monday morning to highlight gratitude and positivity. And so that is kind of like our gift to you every year, to reset you in the gratitude aspect, and how to look at the next year positively so that you can get the most of your life. And so thank you, Mike, for doing that for us. We really appreciate it. So yes, DTLW got listed as the top 125 thought leader podcast to listen to. There are tons of podcasts. To be listed is such a great blessing. It really does speak to the caliber of guests that we have had, and it definitely highlights the fact that our content is well received. And so we are so grateful to have been listed on that. And like I mentioned, we are about 49, 48 shy of 600. If you can get us there, I would greatly appreciate it. And lastly, our Aloha Friday Live. And I'm going to put the link to our YouTube channel in the comments so that you can do that while you listen. And hopefully I don't spell it wrong. So there you go. I just put it in there. All you have to do is click on there and join us as a subscriber. We would love to have you. Aloha Friday Live. Now, you know, if you followed any of my live stream, Aloha Friday Live is my fun, down to earth kind of live stream. It is where I also highlight leaders, mainly from LinkedIn. So it's just funny. Aloha Friday Live is LinkedIn leaders. DTLW is worldwide leaders. And so that's the difference there. And I also have the Leadership Void podcast, which I co-host with my brother Vince Loran. That is military centric, first responder centric leadership, which we run on a separate channel. But you can also join us there if you're military spouse or first responder. We'd love to have your subscription on that as well. But Aloha Friday Live, very down to earth 1 hour live stream show where we highlight different tips and ways of becoming a good leader. And like I mentioned, Adasa was one of those. Adriana was my last one. I kind of stopped that abruptly, and and I'll tell you why here in a second. But we will restart that in January, having good guests. So actually I have almost 600 episodes between the combined shows that I do, podcast and live stream. It has been such a blessing to do those, and I'm I'm shocked by saying that it's almost 600 episodes. It goes so fast, but like I said, the guests make it what it is. So stop Aloha Friday Live. If you are a close connection to me, uh, you know that this last, not this Saturday, but the Saturday before, December 16th, um, I lost my younger brother, Miguel Angel Verdejo, 44 years young, to, yeah, 44 years young. Um, and so we needed to take some time, um, uh, you know, to reflect and to be around family. So Christmas is a little different for us this year. But I'm a believer of God, and I know that He is strengthening us day by day. Just 3 months ago, I lost my mother-in-law that lived with us here at the house. So it's been real close, and both from my mom, on my wife's side, and both from my side, um, to usher in the holiday season. But all is not um, terrible. The loss is terrible, but you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful. I'm grateful every day for the life that I do have, um, and I'm grateful for being, a big brother for 44 years to my brother. And so, yeah, um, I want to share this because I think uh, it's imperative. So the Saturday before, uh, the Monday, he ended up in the hospital. So I believe it was December 9th. I had a dream, and I had a dream that was so real that I believe I was there. And but it was so real that it shook me to the core. And so this was the dream. I was I felt like I was being held on to, um as I would hold on to this Velcro thing, and I was just dropped. And when I dropped into this tunnel, and it was a tunnel, but it was made of dirt. And so basically, I was in a tunnel, and it was all dirt around. And I looked to my right, and it was dirt. I looked to my left, it was dirt. I looked to my back, and it was a wall of dirt. So basically, I was at the end of this tunnel, and I had to head forward. So I looked towards the end of the tunnel, and it was bright, but not, it was a light, but it wasn't bright. But I could see what looked like silhouettes of people moving towards that light source. And I realized I was in a dirt tunnel. And being that I saw the silhouettes of people, I said, well, I more than likely have to go that way because I can't go back. So as soon as I stepped on the ground, my foot forward, I felt the most intense heat that I could ever have felt on earth. This heat was overwhelming instantly. And so in my dream, I was like, oh my goodness, I got to get away from this heat. But I also knew that as I was moving forward, it was getting hotter. And so I instantly came to the realization that I was in hell. And not only did I realize I was in hell, but I also realized that I was in eternity. And I instantly realized both things at once. And when I said, oh no, and I lifted up my head to the top of the tunnel, I woke up. I'm telling you, I have never had a dream this real. I felt the heat on my skin. And so that happened Saturday. On Monday, my brother suffers a cardiac arrest and is now in the hospital that afternoon. And I spoke to him an hour prior to him suffering this heart attack or this cardiac arrest. It wasn't a heart attack, cardiac arrest. And his last words to me was, okay, cool, because we had just scheduled to meet on Thursday for lunch. And I was going to go up to him. He only lived about an hour and 10 minutes from me. You know, why do I say this? Number one, I'm telling you this because we are one breath away from eternity. Literally. And I hope that you consider that in that dream, I thought of no one and I thought of nothing except the fact that it was me and eternity. When you leave this world, what we know, you will think of nothing except what you are about to face for the rest of your existence. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And what I felt, the fear I felt was not any fear like we know here. Everything was overwhelming. And so you know, we had plans that Thursday to have lunch with each other. And it never happened, right? I was there at the hospital for that appointment, but it was not what we had set up. And so, you know, if you have loved ones that are here, I'm going to ask you to consider to hold them a little tighter. Um, love on people while they're here, and consider consider yourself and the things that could possibly put you in that predicament. Uh, you know, the next life is real, and you just need to consider that. All right, so um, you know, a terrible thing for my family and I. We're still trying to process it. I will tell you, I'm a little still in shock. Uh, uh, you know, his memorial service will be on the 30th. Uh, can't tell you what that's going to be like. Um, but you know, but I'll just say that it was truly an honor to be his older brother. Uh, you know, for his 44 years. Um, at the same time, today is my second youngest brother's birthday, Tony. So I want to wish my brother Tony a very happy birthday. I'm I'm glad that we get to celebrate it this year. God bless you, and I love you. Sorry, folks. It's been a rough 2 weeks, but um, thank you for allowing me to be part of your life this last year. Thank you for your support on LinkedIn. Thank you for all the accolades that came our way this year. I'm very grateful. And I wish you all uh, the happiest of Christmases that you can have, and that you consider uh, developing yourself for next year. It's going to be important for the people you lead. So if you need help, Triad Leadership Solutions is available to do that. If you don't have the financial means by doing so, that's why I provide Developing the Leader Within podcast. Um, all it costs you is a subscription, and I would love for you to do that. But yeah, this year I'm here, so I'm blessed, and I wish you all God's blessing, His grace and mercy upon your life, that He give you peace, joy, love, prosperity, health among the greatest of things, and that you prosper, and that your 2024 be your best year yet. Um, I close this out with my love and my appreciation for you, and all that you do for us. We will be back in January for our fifth season in DTLW. And so I thank you all for allowing me to be part of your life. God bless you all. Have a safe and Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year in 2024. Um, if uh, if you have comments and stuff, please provide your comment. I see all the comments. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you all for being here, and you can leave a comment, or you can ask to connect. If you were in the stream, I'll definitely do that. But thank you all for what you do. God bless you.